Doesn't look too bad at all.
Barry White doesn't believe in fairy tales.
You got a deal.
Okay, man. Thank you.
But this job might just convince him
We got a structural problem.
a car can be cursed.
Oh, I'm sure they run on spot.
We go fall out.
Its new nickname is Christine. It's fighting it every way.
I've got 80,000.
And if it ever makes auction,
I am not going to tell that owner he's wrong.
who's going to pay?
Market no pay. 8,600.
How to make a buck. The Barry White way.
Just rip that out of there.
Find a wreck.
That's exactly what we're looking for.
Sleep it underneath there?
Get the right people,
Jen, do something.
What do you want me to do?
Work.
the right parts,
Easy, 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 easy.
and go to work.
Bring it on.
Then hope
It's flawless.
someone wants to buy it.
Let your money bring you happiness.
That's how you get from wrecks to riches. In wrecking yards across the U.S., there's hidden treasure. If you know what you're looking for.
Look at this Camaro. Here's the
Buyers will spend good money for a piece of nostalgia.
What do you want to do? All the numbers, turn them up, down, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, give me a start. 30.
But how do you make this from this?
It's a nice car.
Yeah.
Hot rod guru Barry White and his designer Chris Brown know the secrets.
It looks like we could salvage that one.
Man, I don't see
They
any
trawl
major route. Looks like
junkyards,
somebody
real
might have
and
done some of
virtual,
it.
to find hidden gems. Like this '69 Chevrolet Camaro.
Why don't you give him a call?
Okay.
Becky and I'll run out there and take a look at it and see what it looks like.
All right.
If Barry can transform this wreck into a showroom beauty for the Jackson Hole Auto Auction,
30, 15, 30, 30, 17, 5,
he might just make a killing.
24,500. Sold the car.
"20 years in the hot rod business, Barry knows a thing or two about building cars. Especially 60s muscle.
A lot of the muscle cars, the Camaros, Novas, all that kind of stuff, are unibody cars, which mean they only had a frame on the front of them. So the back half of the car, the body is the frame, and had rails that were actually welded right to the floor pan of the car. So there's not a complete chassis. The floor is real important in these cars.
They've come to Terry Gwynn's wrecking yard. 40 acres, 350 wrecks. But Terry knows this buyer only has eyes for his Camaro.
This is it?
This is the last slip one I got. The end of an era.
That doesn't look bad.
It may look
Doesn't
like
look
a
too bad
pile
at
of
all.
junk,
Yeah, front looks good. No major rust.
but Barry knows its potential.
The Camaro is the quintessential muscle car. I mean, that was built to compete with the Mustang, and it did. Everything looks pretty good.
GM's Mustang Killer first hit the road in 1967. Retailing at $2,500 for the 6-cylinder base model.
The car that I remember in my neighborhood when I was a kid was that '69 Camaro that was silver. It had a 302 cross ram stick shift car. To me, it was just, that was it. I mean, that was as good as it got.
Seems like everybody's got some sort of a memory about a Camaro, or somebody they knew that had a Camaro, or they had one when they were in high school. So I think it'll sell real easy.
What do you want for it?
You know, I think I got to get about $7 grand for it.
$7 grand, huh? That's it, huh? What's your bottom? I mean,
Well,
any room at all?
Well, you know, I'll work with you. What do you got? What do you want to do?
We're trying to make money off of the car. I mean, that's part of the premise of the project. So we need to find the least expensive car we can, but we don't want to find something that's completely rotten away.
How about like $6 grand?
You meet me in the middle?
I can go about 6,200. That's about all my budget can do on this
62
one.
today?
Yeah, today. You
Delivered?
delivered.
Under 50 miles?
I think it is, yeah. It's probably about 30 miles away.
You got a deal.
Okay, man. Thank you.
At Barry's Speed Shop in Corona, California, his crew awaits.
What do you think? We can save it or not?
Oh, we can save it. We've done worse.
6,000 is a lot for a shell.
See if the rear end falls out on the way in.
But they just don't make them like this anymore.
Yeah.
And Barry's hoping to fetch 10 times that when he's done. Chris gets to work on designing a showstopper.
Well, I want to know what color we're painting this Camaro so I can get the rendering done.
Thinking silver, black
yeah?
stripes. Yeah.
I thought you weren't a big fan of silver.
I don't like silver. But no, back when I was a kid, there was a guy in our neighborhood that had a silver Z28 with black stripes. I think that'd be cool.
Chris's design is crucial. To draw in the big buyers, nothing beats a unique look.
Silver's kind of a stealthy color. It doesn't grab you quite as much as some of the other bright colors, but it looks real aggressive. It's a very mechanical kind of color.
Silver car looks like it's all metal. It looks like it's just a metal car, which is real kind of on the edge. The engine is going to be a very mechanical looking piece on this car with the blower and the sheet metal valve covers. Getting it down real low, getting the spoiler under the front like a Z28 would have. It's going to have a really kind of racy look to it.
It should take less than a week to get the body prepared and painted. That's if the shell is as good as Barry thinks it is. But the Camaro starts to show its true self.
Did we check the other side to see if there's a problem?
Probably the same way.
Rust on both sides. Has Barry bought a lemon?
Come on over. I gotta show you something.
In less than 4 weeks, the Camaro goes under the hammer in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. The outdoor auction may not be America's biggest, but the resort town attracts money. And that's what Barry's gonna need.
I'll show you the good side.
This $6,000 wreck is gonna cost him a whole lot more.
We got a structural problem.
I wonder if they make that piece.
That's what I'm thinking. We'd have to cut this whole section out. Somebody try to fix this one on this side. This is their body filler.
The body panels are a mess.
It's rotted pretty damn good.
I was hoping that we'd have a little bit better sheet metal on the car than we do.
And that all-important unibody floor?
How's the floors? Are the floors okay?
Let's see what we got here in the corner.
Problem is that puts us in a bind. We can either fix what's there, which is going to require a lot of patchwork.
You see the hammer blow?
But with our time frame, I don't know that that's a realistic idea.
That's gonna be right there. It does.
Rust in the structural unibody. And in just about every panel on the car. Under the paint, more bad news.
A lot of paint on this piece.
Yeah, about 7 coats of paint.
Botched repair jobs. At this rate, it'll take a month to fix the body. The team has a week.
What I've learned with these old cars is it seems like the more paint that's on them, the more somebody's had their fingers in it, and they've either been hit, filled with Bondo, or what have you, or just bad repair work. Every time we hit it with the grinder, we just uncover another bad spot where there's either rust or Bondo work for no reason, what have you. It's not the way we wanted to start this car off.
Barry's bought a dog.
No matter how many cars you buy, every once in a while you buy a car that you think is better than it is. The owner that had it didn't realize what was wrong, and neither did I.
On his tight deadline, Barry's in a bind. His only option? Put more money down on new panels.
I need quite a bit of sheet metal.
More to the right.
I need a cowl induction hood, both doors, or at least door skins. Need the front header panel and the lower valance in the front. I can't wait a week.
Meantime, the boss blows off smoke. Barry doesn't know it, but someone set up a police rescue.
I can remember growing up as a kid, having different muscle cars and literally scaring the heck out of myself to the point where my knees would continue to pulsate and jump from the adrenaline going through it.
Barry's not in for a ticket. The law just wants to lend a hand.
A friend of my son's he went to high school with is a Corona PD. And they've got some guys over there that are willing to come on board.
We got a lot of guys at the department are interested in muscle cars. You ever need any help?
Absolutely, yeah, heck yeah, we're building a whole bunch of cars right now.
All right. Be careful.
Thank
You
you.
never know when you'll meet a muscle car fan.
Hey, if you guys want to help, follow me to the shop.
Okay.
Sorry.
I think that anybody that gets in a muscle car and gets that feeling, they get hooked.
Back at the shop, Chris also comes to the rescue.
Check it out, I got down there, and they actually had both sides of these and that other hinge that I thought we weren't going to be able to get. So we got every single piece we need.
Excellent.
Hey, looks like it.
Excellent. Look at that, Tony. Rust-free, perfect car. We take all the new stuff and put whatever old pieces we need that they don't make or that we can salvage back on the original stuff and put it on and go from there. Excellent. We even smiled. You got a smile out of him. Wow, how's that, huh?
But those smiles have cost dearly. $9,000 on new panels. Added to the original body, Barry's speedometer revs over 14 grand without even a lick of paint. The body team has to work fast to get back on schedule.
If you try to get gap by doing this, it's just going to make the door higher in the back.
We'll just clearance up here, okay? Let's get this
And the
fender-
pressure showing between young gun Todd and old sage Tony.
I'm just wondering if when the new quarters got put on this thing, if
Oh, I'm sure they're on a spot.
they're further forward.
It's just up at... That's why we tighten up.
From bad to worse. Now the new parts are causing trouble.
Okay, let's take this top off.
Tony's got about that much patience, and Todd's a real easygoing guy, so we'll see how long that lasts.
They're aiming for something like this. A '69 Camaro epitomizing the muscle car era. but then go further with modern technology to build a super muscle car.
You have that original look, but at the same time, it's all modern technology.
3 days over schedule, the Camaro body is finally ready for paint.
The darker base you put underneath it, seal coat, the darker the finished product's going to be, because the silver is very transparent. So if you want a light, you put a light base on it. If you want a dark, you put a dark base.
Then they'll put 3 coats of the silver base on top of that. Maybe 4, it all depends how it covers. Then we'll put 3 coats of clear on it.
This day in the booth cost Barry another $4,000. The spendometer's pushing 20 grand. At this rate, he may never get his money back at auction. But he's in too deep to stop now.
You're late on this one, by the way.
The auction's in 2.5 weeks. Buyers in the big money town of Jackson Hole come from all over the country.
We're going to use the bottom control arms, the spindles, the steering arm.
They'll be looking for something special.
Get the motor mounts off, sway bar off, throw that in the dumpster.
Something eye-catching.
Then let's take the whole front crosser out and get some help to do that.
Something with build quality they're prepared to pay for.
55.5. Sold the car.
The auction's 2.5 weeks away.
We'll take it out and have it blasted and powder coated.
Barry's not even close.
Hey, we got a motor.
The 69 Camaro's subframe gets strengthened to take a new supercharged 383 V8 custom engine.
I found a few stress spots in the frame we're going to take care of.
When you're under the gun, you want Tim on your team.
Oh, look at that dashboard. Oh.
And his friends at the Corona Police Department.
Miles, you going to drool or are you going to come over here and work?
I need some rags. Wipe up all the drool. Look at all these new parts.
Here's the airbag.
These guys have chased a few fast cars. Now they get to build one.
We bought it.
It's like being a young kid again. And it doesn't matter what it is. From cutting something out or replacing something or just cleaning it up, or it doesn't matter. Just to be there, to touch it, to feel it, to smell it, and to be around it.
Are these off-duty officers showing Barry's team a thing or two? No arguments? No complaining? No job too small? A well-drilled machine.
Did fantastic. I mean, they came in and they couldn't get started on the car fast enough. I mean, and showed them what we needed done, some cutting, and didn't have a lot of sheet metal experience, but they jumped right in and had no problem learning.
They even managed to patch the last of the rusted panels.
What I typically do, if you want to get that pretty close, like you've done here, you know, mark it here and then mark it back there so you know where it actually is, and then keep it a little long grinded to fit it.
Yep. When you get done with that, I got some air conditioning ducts for you to make. So don't burn yourself out yet.
Barry's expanded team has just 2 weeks to rebuild the interior and install the engine, electricals, and running gear.
This is my assignment. We'll do it until he comes back and tells me I did it wrong.
Officer Leah Shatford grew up around cars and the garage.
My dad loves hot rods, classic cars. You know, we would look at old cars, or we would go to car shows when I was little. He'd let me help him work on cars. I got the sand off of this. There's no sand left on this end here.
Well, there's a spot right there.
Having the Corona PD involved with this build has been great. Those guys are so enthusiastic.
This slides underneath this way, and then this slides with inside, and then the bushing comes up with it.
There you go.
And you know what? The directions didn't help me. I figured this out all on my own.
We only have a short amount of time to build all these cars, so having volunteers come and help us, it really helps out on the build.
Next truck.
It's the weekend. Most of the team take a break, but the diehards come in for a Camaro milestone.
You have to lie on your
Yeah, when you jack it up.
Sergeant Miles Truex just can't get enough.
The other night, my wife called me up. She goes, "Don't worry." She goes, "Honey, I got your Barry shirt all clean. It's ready to go. I know you're going to be going over there."
It's sitting on the frame right now.
She wants me to be happy, and she knows it's something that really does bring me joy.
Go ahead and put yours on.
Okay.
I went right in.
Yeah, I'm looking real good there.
You think you're looking good, or
yeah,
you are looking good? You are looking good, buddy.
You get me so shook up I can't find my bolt.
It's in the crossbar.
Yeah, there we go.
This custom John Barrett 383 small block is just the start. Still to come, a supercharger, blowing this 35-year-old baby into the 21st century. With an $8,000 hit on the spendometer, now up to $30,000.
It looks like it's fine by the intake ports. It's just up
Barry
to this
doesn't need any more problems.
Something's definitely not right.
Buddy's got one. The supercharger doesn't fit the engine block.
The intake manifold doesn't look like it's sitting down, the head's right. It's a problem we don't need right now. We gotta pull it off.
The auction's in 10 days.
I hate doing it twice.
Take a look right here, boys and girls, and what do you want to do? Pump it up, turn it up, down, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, give me a start.
When hot rod impresario Barry White booked his slot at the Jackson Hole Auto Auction, he was planning to bring Cinderella to the ball.
Just rip that out of there. I hope they make a new dash.
To transform a '69 Chevy Camaro wreck into a gleaming showstopper.
Come on over. I gotta show you something.
But Cinderella turned ugly stepsister.
You know, every time we turned around, there was something else wrong.
We had a structural problem.
The body was shot.
It's just been a rocky road getting here.
And cost too much time and money.
Rather than just putting a Band-Aid on it, we've cut it, fixed it, put it back the way it's supposed to be. We could have easily just patched it, but that's not us. That's not what we do.
No.
With just over a week to showtime, Barry's way behind schedule. Now, he has an engine problem. The supercharger doesn't fit.
We didn't talk to the supercharger guys about what the engine was.
The injectors will pop out with it. Yeah.
And the heads are tall port heads, and the intake for the blower is not a tall port intake, so that's nobody's fault but ours, just not communicating with everybody to know what they're doing because of the time frame that we've been working in. There you are, right there.
No one in Barry's shop can remember a build as cursed as this.
Let that fall out on you.
Yeah, I got this hand.
Even the simplest of jobs, the car fights back. The boys are starting to think the Camaro is haunted.
Its new nickname is Christine. It's fighting it every way.
All right. Yeah, we've got a water pump. It's the wrong pump. Another thing wrong with this car.
Every bit and piece that we need to get for this car is impossible to get.
It's a fucking nightmare of a car is actually what it is.
Christine is a killer car from the Stephen King novel.
What the?
It seems to have resurfaced in Barry's speed shop.
Get a little Corona afternoon wind.
Garrett was working on the car and heard a crash and looked out the back, and the spoiler was now laying on the ground. So instead of going forward, we're going backwards on that kind of stuff.
It's got to be repainted.
The wind came up and blew it onto the ground, and it was painted and rubbed out.
I'm not telling him, you tell him.
All right.
Now the spoiler has gone back to the paint shop to get repainted.
7 days to auction.
It's on the table in the back and it's all
Who's gonna win? Barry or Christine?
up here and also on the front.
We'll conquer the thing. There's no two ways about it. It'll be one of the nicest Camaros you're going to see.
Less than a week to showtime. If Christine's gonna make the ball, the team has to work fast. Barry's engine guy, Ken, comes through with a fix for the supercharger.
So what he did was he raised the manifold up 3/16 of an inch with weld and then milled it down so that when he tightened up the manifold, then it seats the whole port. He came to the rescue.
The team has been running uphill since it started.
Gotta be something missing. It's like this car's always missing something.
Well, I'm sure it's missing something.
How about our
As
wheel
one
tires?
problem solved,
Yeah.
there's always another.
That would be nice.
Did the wheels get to the tire shop? Did the tire, I mean, what's happening?
That's a good question. Last time I called there, I didn't get any answer.
No, we need to
At all.
train.
Like, nobody answered the phone.
Never-ending battle.
So far, she's stolen 3 weeks and $35,000. Barry's ruining the day Christine darkened his door. This can't be happening.
Andy, can you open up the idle air a little more on this thing?
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
One for the team. This supercharger fix has the small block ready for business. 550 horsepower at the crank.
What's the temperature?
It's 140. Okay, now set it at 15.
15 now.
We put a certain amount of initial timing in it, and then they can take it in or out with the computer.
You're on it? Cool.
This engine and blower should draw in the bidders.
What do you got?
To be sure, Barry tunes the idle for just the right note.
That idle sounds good. Just got enough in there to make it sound like it's something.
Let's lift this up. Let's get this where we know it's supposed to be about.
First impressions count on the auction floor, but so does detail. The Camaro's interior will look like the original, but be better than any factory model.
This will end up getting cut a little bit.
Just as crucial, external detail.
How far out are you?
About a finger.
Finger. How big's your finger? Using your middle finger, that's all I've been doing with this car.
Discerning buyers look for fit and quality.
Outside trim is the most important part of the whole car. I mean, that's your first impression when you walk up to see the car. You see all the chrome bezels and parts and, you know, trim parts and around the windows, and that's the whole car. That's what makes the car. Thanks.
Brand new dashboard. Disc brakes all around. Digital hi-fi system. The ghost of Christine is being exorcised. But not without a fight.
Seat isn't going back far enough to clip in.
Yes! Christine, baby!
Mine.
Mine's in too. What's the problem?
Like I said, Barry, I want to be just like you when I grows up.
With just 3 days left, the exhausted crew can see the end.
It'll be a sad day if this car ever comes back to this shop. So it definitely will go, and you know, if I got to buy it myself, it's going to be gone.
Barry always wanted a mean-looking car. He just didn't count on a personality to go with it. He's dropped 40,000 taming Christine so far, way more than planned. But he's not going to scrimp in the last moments.
I typically like to put as much tire underneath the back of a car as I possibly can, which sometimes means trimming a little piece here and there. Typically the fender lips are pretty wide, so we just go in there and saw a little bit, do a little sanding, and just clearance it so we don't have any rubbing going on.
Christine gets new shoes, sparkling chrome wheels, and low-profile tires. Soon they'll know if the looks match performance.
It's a car. Finally.
Christine's ready for a test ride.
All right, baby. Come on. Let us be done with you, all right?
28 days ago, designer Chris Brown imagined the car a young boy recalled from his youth.
It's a good, solid car.
That boy was Barry White.
See if the rear end falls out on the way in.
For 4 weeks, Barry and his team beat on this tired old Camaro, transforming it into a masterpiece.
Click it or dig it.
The car may have been cursed, but they had the law on their side.
You ready?
You betcha.
For Sergeant Miles Truax and the off-duty Corona cops who helped discipline this baby, the honor of Christine's first ride.
Not bad, huh?
Beautiful. Oh, man.
This Camaro goes fast, standing still.
It's a very aggressive looking car. I love the way all the colors turned out on it. The silver and black really play well together. Having the shiny wheels on it still gives it a little bit of pizzazz at the same time.
It's that car that sticks with you forever. And that's the car that seems like people come in and want to resurrect so that they have that time back when it was really cool.
You see guys have cars like this, say, well, it took me 2 years to get it this way, you know. 4 weeks is just incredible.
Every detail is perfect. A '69 Camaro brought alive with old and new technology.
It looks really awesome. Came out great. The stripes look good. It's just an awesome car. It turned out real well.
Under the hood, the supercharged small block V8 snarls like a cougar.
The power behind it, when they start that engine, heads turn. I mean, you can hear it from wherever you work. And it's just got a distinct sound to it.
Police officer Leah Shadford put in long weekends at Barry's Speed Shop.
see it go from nothing to a beautiful piece of history. That's something in itself right there.
But the real test, the moment of atonement for Christine the Camaro, is here at Jackson Hole.
$500. 21.6. And again, folks, what a convertible does is depreciation.
It's a perfect day for an outdoor carnival. Question is the perfect buyer here somewhere?
They said this is one of the richest communities there is, so hopefully some of those people would come out and want a Camaro. That'd be kind of cool.
Will this be Barry's day in the sun? It has to be. Getting this sparkling baby here has cost him a total of $45,000. Will anyone have pockets deep enough?
Start me out.
It's amazing how well it fits back together. I mean, they didn't fit that big when they were new.
All the chrome in the engine. Yeah, the engine's really awesome.
I really would love to get in it and go flying.
The vibe is good, but to get a feel for prices, Barry heads inside the auction tent.
Look at this Camaro. Here's the car that everybody wants to own. Take a look right here, boys and girls, and what do you want to do?
First problem. Another Camaro beats Barry to the floor.
Oh, my lordy, lordy. Look at that. And it's red. I love this color. Red.
It's an original restoration, without the modern technology of Barry's super muscle car.
25, 22 and a half on Janice, 25, 25, 23, 5.5, 23 and a half, 23, 5, just a bit, 23, 5, 24, 24 and a half, 24 down on the back, down by 25, 24.
If there's any rich Camaro fans here, they aren't showing themselves.
I'll take 25, 7.5, 25 down by 7.5, 25, 7, 50. Stole $25,500. The gentleman in the yellow
This
shirt.
Camaro makes just 25 grand.
Good job, good job. That is a beautiful car. All right,
I'm a little anxious. It's one of those things, you know, you got a lot of money invested in this car.
In my opinion, I think I'm giving it away.
We always want to get over that amount, so at least we're there. And then after that, it's all
The
good.
gentleman in the yellow shirt. 25.5. Thank you.
Barry needs 45 to break even. Could be trouble.
It's a beautiful car. All right, here you have it.
You get real tense right about now. Just making sure the car's going to start and run, go through the auction, and just the whole thing. You're rolling the dice. It's Vegas every time you go there, you know, and I'm not much of a gambler, so this is a pretty high stress thing for me.
At Barry's Speed Shop, they dubbed this Camaro Christine, after the haunted car in Stephen King's novel.
Here's one of the stars of the show, the one you've been waiting for, the incredible Camaro N. Absolutely unbelievable.
In the junkyard, it seemed like a good idea.
End of an era.
Bring a '69 Camaro back to the future.
You got a deal.
Okay, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Folks, you're invited to look close at the car. Now, we told you about show quality paint today. This is show quality paint. It's like looking in a mirror.
What buyers can't see is the trouble Christine brought.
We had a structural problem. We'd have to cut this whole section out.
Every time we hit it with the grinder, we just uncover another bad spot.
A stunning example. Look at the low-profile tires and the wheels on this car. Look at the chrome in the engine compartment.
She fought them all the way.
I hate doing twice. It's the wrong pump.
Yeah, this car is aptly named in Christine.
Absolutely an incredible build and an opportunity for you to buy one of the finest Camaros in the world. Right here, right
And the
now.
battle between Barry and Christine isn't over.
And what are you going to pay with the automobile right now?
If he doesn't get 45 grand, the car wins.
I had 30 in 3 different places. I've got 30. I need 40. 35, I got 40. I'm at 35, 40, 41, 42, 42, 43, 43.
In less than a minute, Barry's almost in the money.
43, 44, 44, 44, 45, 45, 45. I have Janice at $45,000. 46, Ardell. 47, 47, 47.
Christine has 3 bidders. The beard, the gray cap, and the car shirt.
47.5, now 48. Now 48, Mike, 48, 48, 48, 48, supercharged. I'm at 47.5, 48, 48, 48, 47.5, 48, and now 49, 49, 49, 49, 49, 49, 49, 45, 49, 45, 45, 49, 5, 5, 40, now 50, now 50, now 50, now 50,000. Come on. 49, 5, 50, 51,000, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51,000. 52, 52, 52,000, up to 17, up to 52. Oh, I got 52,000 over here. 52, yeah, I got $55,000. 55.5, 55.5, 55.5. I'll tell you what, folks, you know why it's doing this? Because the car is stunning. 55, 2.5, 55.5. Got it. 55.7.5, 55.750 once.
Mike, do it.
Twice. This is the last call and the last chance. 55.7.5. And I say... Hey, Ardell, this card looked great in your collection of fine cars. 56,000.
You buy one more.
Got it. 56, 2.5. I'm doing that. I'm doing that now. Give me 56, 2.5. 56,000. 56,500. Got it. 56, 7.5. 56, 7.5. Yeah. 56, 7.5. 56, 7.5. 56, 7.5 once. Twice. This is your last chance. 56, 750, and I say.
Yes. You sure?
Bing and a bang and a boom. Sold the car. 56,500 dollars. It goes to Salt Lake City, Utah. Thanks, everybody. Hey.
All right, let's go see Ardell.
The buyers did a wonderful job. That man right there, Barry, you built this car. Give him a hand, Barry.
$56,500. Sweet victory. Christine's curse has ended. She has a new life and a proud new owner.
Thanks, Ardell.
This was, without a doubt, the best car here, by far, from every standpoint of it. You're talking about quality, you're talking about price, you're talking about popularity. This car right here was the #1 car in practically every category.
This car should know better than to mess with Barry White.
Feels good. Ardell comes through. It was pretty crazy, going a couple hundred at a time, but they drove it up there.
It was amazing. It's just like going back and forth, and you know, it's 200.
Yep, they're happy, but Christine gets in one more bite.
Shutting the battery off. Something must have been sharp under there.
It got you, huh?
Final blood. It never ends.